Hey there, and welcome to Family Revenge. We're so glad you're here. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay with us for every twist and turn. Let's jump right in. I'm Casey Rivers, a park ranger. Yeah, I know, not exactly a title that screams fancy wedding guest, but here I am, standing in the middle of a barn in Montana, trying to blend in with the tuxedos and ball gowns. It's my cousin Daisy's wedding, and she asked me to wear my ranger uniform for the photos. The thing is, I've just come off a wilderness assignment, so the last thing I wanted was to stand out in a bright green uniform among all these people. The barn is rustic, hay bales stacked along the walls, wildflowers scattered around. The smell of country music, warm wood, and too many layers of perfume fill the air. Daisy's glowing, and I can't help but smile. She's so full of joy, it's contagious. I'm happy for her, really. I am. As I weave my way through the crowd, I hear my father's voice rise above the chatter. His laughter cuts through the air like a knife. Ah, the park ranger who picks up trash, he says, grinning wide. His buddies laugh too, slapping him on the back. I freeze. The sting hits hard, but I don't let it show. Not here, not now. I know the drill. Dad's always belittled what I do. Always has. He served in the army, and in his mind, anything outside of combat or infantry isn't real work. I keep moving, though my jaw tightens. I want to snap back, to tell him just how wrong he is, but I swallow the words down. It's Daisy's day after all. The laughter of my dad's friends fades as I push through the crowd, trying to focus on something else. The barn, the music, anything. But the hurt lingers in my chest like a bruise I can't ignore. I move past the bar where my father's holding court, and the sound of his voice washes over me. I want to disappear into the crowd, but the noise feels like it's closing in on me, suffocating me. His words, the same ones he's used for years, are just loud enough for me to hear. Real soldiers don't pick up trash in parks, he's saying, leaning in to tell one of his buddies. We were out there on the front lines, making a real difference. None of this wilderness stuff. I can feel my stomach tighten as if a fist is wrapping around my gut. I want to yell at him, tell him he doesn't understand the first damn thing about the work I do, but that's just it, isn't it? He never has understood it. Not when I was a kid, not now. The memories flash back before I can stop them. Those long summers when Dad would come home after a deployment, and he'd talk about all the battles he'd fought, the medals, the stories of valor. My brother Jake was the hero. Jake, the Marine, who Dad had endless praise for. I remember being 10, sitting at the kitchen table while Jake and Dad laughed over some war story. I sat there, staring at my mashed potatoes, just waiting for my dad to look my way. But he didn't. Not once. It was always Jake. You'll never understand, Dad had said to me one day, when I asked him why he couldn't just see me. The Marines do real work, Casey. They serve. I was just a kid. I didn't know how to fight for my place in that house yet, but I figured I could prove myself. When I turned 18, I joined the National Park Service. Figured I'd show him what real work was. The first time he visited me in the field was the worst. I was 22, newly assigned to Glacier National Park. He showed up in full military regalia, like he was inspecting a platoon, and didn't even acknowledge the miles of rugged terrain or the dangerous wildlife we worked with. No, his first question was, "What's your real job, Casey? You spend all your time picking up litter?" I felt like my throat was closing in on me as I tried to explain what I really did. How I managed search and rescues, how I helped protect endangered species, how I led teams through brutal conditions to save lives. He didn't care. All he heard was picking up trash, and that was enough to dismiss me. I remember him smirking, his eyes flicking over my uniform, his voice cold. Maybe you should consider a desk job if you want some real responsibilities. At that moment, I realized I'd never be good enough for him. No matter what I did, it wasn't going to be real work. Now, standing in this damn barn, I feel that same gnawing ache in my chest. I've spent my life trying to prove myself, working longer hours, pushing harder, taking on tougher assignments. But to Dad, I'm still just the girl who picks up trash. I glance over at him now, his back turned as he tells more stories about the military, his real job. It feels like he's 1,000 miles away, even though he's standing right there. I'm invisible, always have been. I take a step back, away from the laughter and the clinking glasses. The reception's still in full swing, but I'm done. I slip through the crowd, out of the barn, and into the cool night air. The stars above don't help. They're too far away, just like everything else in my life that feels unreachable. I should feel proud of what I've accomplished, But all I feel right now is this hole. The one Dad's dug so deep inside me. The hole I'll never be able to fill. I stand in the night air, letting it cool the heat rising in my chest. I should be grateful for what I do. The park ranger life? It's not about the accolades. It's not about the recognition. But goddamn, it'd be nice if someone, anyone, saw it for what it is. I think about one of the worst rescues I've ever been part of. A group of hikers got lost in the backcountry of Glacier. The weather was turning bad, and they hadn't packed enough water, let alone food. They were stranded up on a ridge, exposed, no way to make it back on their own. I'd gotten the call just as the storm was rolling in. It was late in the day, and visibility was shot. I remember looking up at the black sky, feeling the first heavy drops of rain hit my skin. My team and I were heading into a nightmare. Slick rocks, fast-moving water, and freezing temperatures. Not exactly a typical hike. I led the team up, navigating terrain that would have sent most people back down after the first few steps. I told myself it was just another mission. But the thought of those hikers, stuck up there with nothing but the clothes on their backs, it stuck with me. I kept pushing. We found them, huddled together, shaking. No food, no water. The storm was already settling in, the air sharp with the cold. I remember telling them everything was going to be okay, even when I wasn't sure myself. The hike out was brutal, my team moving in tight, the hikers barely able to walk. I don't think they realized how close they came to being swept away by the river we had to cross. We got them out, though, safe, alive. But no one ever heard that story. My name wasn't in the papers. No one clapped me on the back or threw me a party. To my dad, I was still just some glorified trail guide, out there to pick up trash and maybe point out a deer or two. I don't need awards, I don't need headlines. But sometimes, it'd be nice to feel like my work matters to someone, especially him. I push away from the railing, my boots scraping the gravel as I walk back toward the barn. The music's louder now, a steady beat in the background. The clink of glasses, the murmur of voices. Everything feels distant, muffled. I find my way over to the cake table, where the tiers of white frosting and delicate roses sit like a centerpiece. I don't care about cake, not really. But it's something to do, something to focus on other than the way my father's words still echo in my head. Pick up trash, it's all he ever hears when I talk about my job. I pick up a piece of cake, the frosting too sweet, sticky on my fingers. The rest of the world goes on around me, and I'm still stuck, frozen, feeling like I'm standing just outside the circle. It's Daisy's day, and everyone's too caught up in her happiness to notice the storm swirling inside me. But it's there, heavy, thick, lingering, like I'm choking on it. I put the fork down and push the plate away. I can hear Dad's voice again from across the room, loud as ever. I'm sure he's telling another one of his war stories, reliving those real days of combat. His buddies are laughing, hanging on every word, and I just feel like I don't belong in that room. I sit at a table with some distant relatives, trying to smile and pretend I'm interested in the small talk. The conversation's about nothing, just the usual how's work, and still living in the wilds of Montana? Stuff. I'm not in the mood to entertain any of it, not with my dad's voice still echoing in my head. Picking up trash, it's like a broken record. I pick at the corner of my napkin, trying to ignore the knot in my stomach. I want to be anywhere but here, away from the whole damn wedding, away from this family that keeps reminding me of what I'm not. And then, out of nowhere, a teenage voice cuts through the noise. Wait, hold on, he says, eyes glued to his phone. I just saw this thing on the news about that national park disaster, the one with the flash flood. Dude, look at this. The teen's voice gets louder as he waves his phone around. My heart stutters, and before I can stop it, my eyes snap to the screen. I see the familiar footage of a raging river, a flash flood tearing through a valley. And then there's me, my face, my gear, my team, moving quickly, coordinating the rescue. OMG, is that her? He says, pointing directly at me with a wide grin, like he just found a celebrity in the room. The entire table goes silent. Every head turns, eyes now fixed on me. My throat tightens. My father's face shifts. First, it's confusion. Then, recognition. I can feel it all the way across the room, the moment it clicks for him. He's still holding that glass of champagne, frozen, staring at the screen. Time slows down, and for a second, I swear I'm going to choke. I feel the blood drain from my face. My hands go cold. My dad blinks once, twice, and then, in a way that feels like it's happening in slow motion, his fingers loosen. The glass of champagne slips from his hand. It falls, and there's this sickeningly loud crash as it shatters on the floor. The room goes utterly still. Everyone's looking at him now, eyes wide, but no one says anything. The sound of the glass breaking still hangs in the air, like we're all holding our breath. It's like we're stuck in this moment, suspended, waiting for something, anything, to fill the silence. The teen's phone keeps playing the segment, the voice of the reporter narrating over footage of me and my team. In a dramatic rescue, Park Ranger Casey Rivers and her team saved a family of 4 who were trapped in a flash flood in Glacier National Park last weekend. Rangers faced treacherous conditions, including rising waters and heavy rain, but managed to pull the family from danger just in time. The reporter talks about the heroic efforts and quick thinking, but there's nothing in the report that names me. No recognition, no acknowledgement. It's just another story, another rescue. And yet my father is staring at me like he's seeing me for the first time, like his whole world just cracked open. The realization on his face is almost more than I can bear. My throat feels thick, like I'm drowning in the weight of it all. The truth is out there now, in front of everyone. It's not the way I imagined it would happen, but it's done. The phone gets passed around the table, and the whispers start. People are murmuring, asking questions, talking about the rescue. Some of them even look impressed, though I can't tell if they actually understand what it took. Some of them still look at me like I'm the same girl they've always known, the one who never seemed to measure up. But I can't focus on them. My eyes are locked on my father, who's still standing in place, unmoving, glass shards scattered at his feet. He's trying to figure it out, I can tell. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what to do. I stand there, frozen, feeling both exposed and relieved. For years, I've carried this weight, kept my accomplishments hidden under the surface, trying to prove something that didn't even need proving. And now it's all out there for everyone to see. I don't know what my father's thinking. His face is unreadable, his posture stiff, like he's afraid to acknowledge what just happened. And for a second, I wonder if he'll ever say the words I've been waiting for, that he's proud of me. But the moment passes. The phone moves on to someone else, and the crowd starts to murmur again, the tension in the room slowly fading. But not for me. For me, it feels like the air is heavier than ever. I'm still standing there, unsure of what comes next. The weight of my father's silence feels like 1,000 pounds on my chest. But for the first time, I don't think I need him to say anything at all. The truth is out now. Let him deal with it. The room is quieter now, like everyone's holding their breath. All eyes are on me, the hum of conversation dead in the air. I can feel the weight of every gaze, the collective curiosity, the questions they don't ask but want to. The phone passes around, the video still playing, showing me in full ranger gear, leading my team through the flood zone. The water's churning, the rain pounding, but my focus is steady. There's no glamour in the video, no personal story. They never talk about the sleepless nights or the risks, but the importance is there. The honor is there, even if the camera can't capture it. I stand still, frozen in place, just watching my father. His face is unreadable, eyes fixed on the screen. He hasn't said a word since the moment the video started. He's just staring at me. The tension in the air is so thick I almost can't breathe. His posture is stiff, like he's still processing what he's seeing, what he's realizing. But he doesn't look away. Not once. I'm not sure what I'm waiting for. A compliment? An apology? An acknowledgement that maybe, just maybe, my work is worthy of more than the dismissive words he's always thrown my way? But nothing comes. His mouth stays shut, and I realize that maybe I'm not going to get what I've been hoping for all these years. Maybe I don't need it. The video ends, and the room shifts. The moment that heavy silence starts to ease, a few distant relatives begin to murmur among themselves, talking about the rescue, asking questions they wouldn't have cared to ask before. But it's different now. They see me. They know what I've done. And that's enough. A woman standing in the back of the room clears her throat, her glass raised high. The chatter stops, and everyone turns to look at her. To Casey, she says, her voice warm and steady, though there's a slight tremor in it, like she's doing something important. To Casey, she repeats. One by one, the others around the room slowly raise their glasses too. There's a hesitation at first, like no one quite knows how to react, but then it spreads, like a ripple across a still pond. To Casey, they murmur, some louder than others. It's not a grand gesture. It's not some huge declaration, but it's real. In that moment, I feel the weight of it all. The years of being dismissed, overlooked, made to feel small, and it starts to lift, piece by piece. I stand there trying to swallow down the lump in my throat. I can feel my father's eyes on me, but I don't look at him. Not yet. I don't need to. The attention has shifted away from him now, and I realize something I've never really let myself believe. I don't need his validation anymore. Not here, not now. The murmurs grow louder, more people joining in, congratulating me in their own quiet way. No one's making a big deal of it, but it's enough. It's more than enough. I feel something inside me break free, a kind of relief I never thought I'd feel. It's like the weight I've carried for so long, trying to earn my father's respect, his approval, is finally gone. My father still hasn't moved. He's still standing there, holding that damn empty champagne glass, staring at me like he's trying to figure out who I am, who I've become. But I'm not waiting for him to say anything anymore. His silence doesn't sting the way it used to. It's just his silence. I don't need him to see me anymore. The room starts to buzz again, the tension loosening as people return to their conversations. But it's different now. The air feels lighter, more genuine. I glance back at my dad one last time. He's still holding the glass, but he's not looking at me. He's looking down at the shards of it, scattered across the floor. Maybe he's ashamed. Maybe he's confused. But for the first time, I'm okay with it. I don't need him to understand what I do. I know what I've done. I know the risks I've taken, the lives I've saved, the work I've poured myself into. I don't need his acknowledgement. A woman at the next table smiles at me, nodding in my direction. "Good job, Casey," she says, her voice kind. It's a simple thing, nothing grand, but it feels real. I smile back, and for the first time, I feel like I'm not invisible anymore. The night continues on, the reception winding down, and I finally exhale, letting go of the tension in my shoulders. I've been carrying that weight for too long. Now, it's time to let it go. The barn is quieter now, the music softer, the energy beginning to slow as the night drags on. Most of the guests are still mingling, but I find myself slipping into the shadows, trying to shake off the weight of everything that's happened. My mind keeps replaying the moment when the truth was finally out there, when everyone saw what I'd been doing all these years. It feels like a relief, but also like I've been exposed in a way I didn't expect. I lean against the wall, trying to breathe through the discomfort. There's a part of me that feels lighter, but another part that's still trying to make sense of everything, of my father's silence, of the way the room shifted when they all started raising their glasses to me. It should feel good, right? It should feel like a victory, but all I feel is unsettled. And then I see him. Dad's walking toward me, still in his tux, still looking every bit the retired Army officer. There's a stiff edge to his posture, like he's trying to keep everything in check. He stops a few feet away, his eyes lingering on me, but he doesn't speak for a second. I brace myself. Finally, he says it, his voice tight. "I guess I didn't realize what you really do out there?" I don't look at him immediately. I can't. His words land hard, like a slap I wasn't expecting. I knew this moment was coming, but I didn't know it would feel this heavy. His tone isn't full of awe or respect, though. It's like he's trying to make sense of something he can't quite understand. I feel this mix of anger and resignation welling up inside me. He's trying, I can give him that, but it feels like it's coming too little, too late. The years of dismissals, of his words stinging just a little too much, flood back. All the times I thought maybe if I worked harder, pushed further, I'd finally get through to him. But no, it's like he's looking at me through some lens that can't see past his own version of real work. I want to tell him everything. The late nights, the long hikes, the way I've dragged myself through blizzards to find lost hikers, the moments I've been out there, half frozen, my boots soaked through, wondering if I'm ever going to make it back. I want to tell him about the danger, the real danger, that comes with saving lives. About the calls at 3 a.m. when the weather's turning and every decision feels like it could mean life or death. But the words get stuck in my throat. I don't need to explain myself to him, not anymore. "You don't get to decide what counts as service," I say, my voice steady, even if the anger is still simmering just beneath the surface. I look him in the eye, and for a second, I don't see the man who's always made me feel like I wasn't good enough. I see a stranger. His mouth opens like he's going to respond, but nothing comes out. His eyes narrow, like he doesn't understand what I'm saying. Maybe he never will. Maybe it doesn't even matter anymore. He's always been so sure of himself, so convinced that his way was the only way. But I'm not that girl anymore, the one waiting for him to tell me I've done good, that I've earned my place. There's no apology coming from him. I can feel it in the way he stands there, his hands stiff at his sides. And suddenly, I don't care if he ever says it. I don't need it. I never did. I turn away from him, my shoulders tight, but not with the weight I used to carry. It's lighter now. I'm lighter now. I don't owe him an explanation. I don't owe anyone that anymore. As I walk away, I hear him call my name, but I don't stop. I don't turn back. He's left standing there in the middle of the barn, trying to figure out how to respond, but I've already moved on. And for the first time in a long time, I don't feel like I'm waiting for him to catch up. The wedding's still in full swing, but it feels different now. The air has shifted, like people are seeing me for the first time. I catch a few relatives glancing my way, nodding in quiet recognition, maybe even respect. There's no more laughter behind my back or dismissive comments whispered between drinks. It's subtle, but it's there, the way they're treating me now. There's a softness to their voices, a curiosity that's not mocking. It's like the walls that were always up between me and this family are coming down, piece by piece. I'm standing by the bar, nursing a glass of water, when Daisy comes over. She's glowing, a perfect bride, her cheeks flushed with happiness. She wraps her arms around me in a hug, warm and tight, and I can feel the sincerity in it. "I'm so proud of you," she says, pulling back to look me in the eyes. Her smile is wide, genuine. The words hit me harder than I expect. For a second, I can't find my voice. "Thanks, Daisy," I finally manage. I'm not used to hearing those words, not from anyone in this family, and certainly not from someone who's always been the center of attention. But here she is, in the middle of her wedding day, and she's taking the time to tell me that. It means something. It means everything. The room continues to buzz around us, people laughing, dancing, but I feel lighter. I know it's just a small gesture, just a few words, but in this moment, it's the kind of validation I've been waiting for. Not from my dad, not from anyone else, just from her. It's enough. A few more people come over, distant cousins, older relatives who I've never been close to. They look at me with new eyes now. They're not questioning, not judging. One of them, a woman I barely know, raises a glass to me. "You're the ranger, right? Saved a family from that flood?" she asks, a little unsure, but her voice is kind. "I heard about that. Well done." I smile, nodding. "It's just part of the job," I say, downplaying it like I always do. I don't need to make a big deal out of it. But the way she looks at me now, it's different. There's no pity in her eyes, no question of whether my work is real. There's just quiet respect. It feels real this time, too. Another man, an older cousin I barely remember, claps me on the back. "Hell of a job, Casey. You're out there saving lives while the rest of us are stuck in cubicles." I laugh, but it's not forced. "Well, someone's got to do it." My voice is steadier now, stronger. A few more people congratulate me, one after another, and each time it feels easier. It feels like I've finally found my place here, like I belong in a way I never did before. No one's laughing at my uniform, no one's making fun of my job. For the first time, the attention doesn't feel like it's a reminder of how different I am from everyone else. It feels like it's mine, and it feels good. I take a deep breath, and for the first time in a long while, I feel the tension in my shoulders start to melt away. I'm standing here, in the middle of this wedding, surrounded by my family, and it doesn't matter that they don't fully understand the work I do. It doesn't matter that they'll never truly get it. What matters is that they see me for who I am now. Not the girl who picks up trash, not the girl who's trying too hard to be someone I'm not. The weight of my father's opinion doesn't hang over me anymore. I don't need him to tell me that what I do matters. I don't need his approval. I'm finally okay with that. I'm finally okay with me. Daisy glances around the room and then pulls me into another hug, a bit tighter this time. "You're part of this family, Casey. Always have been. And I'm proud to have you here." The words feel like a balm, soothing something deep inside me. It's not about proving anything to anyone anymore. It's about knowing that I'm enough just as I am. I smile, a real one this time, and I let myself believe it. For once, I let myself believe that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. The wedding's winding down now, the music's slowing to a quiet hum, and the barn feels emptier, quieter. Most people are inside, dancing or chatting, but I need some space. I slip outside, the cool night air hitting my face as I step into the shadows, away from the noise. I look up at the sky, the stars sharp and bright against the black canvas of the Montana night. I take a deep breath, letting the quiet settle over me. The weight from earlier is still there, but it's lighter now. The tension that's followed me for years, waiting for my father's approval, trying to prove my worth, has finally started to fall away. I've done my job. I've saved lives, put myself at risk when no one else would, and kept the parks and wilderness safe. The work I do is important, even if it's not recognized the way other jobs are. But that's the thing, right? I don't need recognition. I don't need anyone's approval, least of all my father's. I stand there for a moment, letting the calm sink into me, when I hear footsteps behind me. I turn, and there he is, the teenager, the one who started it all. The one who pointed out the news segment earlier and made the whole room look at me. His face is flushed, and he's shifting from foot to foot, clearly uncomfortable. "Hey," he says, his voice quiet. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass you." I raise my eyebrows, surprised. "Embarrass me?" He hesitates for a second, then glances away, like he's not sure what to say. "Yeah, I didn't mean to make it weird, you know. I was just excited about the news, but I didn't think about how it might make you feel." I let out a short breath, shaking my head. "You didn't embarrass me. You helped people see me for what I really am." His eyes flicker up to meet mine, a mix of relief and understanding passing across his face. It's like something clicked for him, too. He nods slowly, his shoulders relaxing a bit. "I didn't mean to make it awkward," he says, the sincerity in his voice clear. I give him a small smile, feeling a little lighter myself. "It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong." I pause, feeling the weight of the moment. "You just made them see something they hadn't before?" He smiles back, and for a second there's this quiet, unspoken understanding between us. He may be young, but in that moment, he gets it. The whole thing, the weight of hiding something important, the burden of being invisible in plain sight. He helped people see what I do, and for that, I'm not angry, I'm actually grateful. He nods again, a little shy now. "I just wanted to make sure you didn't think I was trying to embarrass you." "Don't worry about it," I say, my voice soft but steady. "I'm not worried about that anymore." He looks at me, a little surprised, then gives me a final nod before turning and heading back toward the barn. I watch him go, the weight lifting off my shoulders bit by bit. It's strange how one small conversation can make something so heavy feel so much lighter. The kid didn't mean any harm, but he helped me, in his own way, finally free myself from something I didn't even realize I was holding on to. I take one last look at the stars above, the cold air still sharp on my skin, and I realize something. The truth about who I am, about the work I do, is enough. I don't need anyone else to validate it anymore. Not my dad, not anyone. It's enough that I know. And for the first time, that feels like everything. The night is winding down, and the energy in the barn is starting to shift. The music has slowed, the dancing has quieted, and everyone gathers around for the final toast. People are laughing, chatting, but it's a different kind of noise now. More relaxed, less forced. I stand back for a moment, just watching. Daisy and her new husband stand side by side, glowing, the center of it all. It's their moment, their day, and I'm happy for them. But I can't help but notice how much lighter I feel now. It's like the weight I've carried for so long has finally started to lift. The crowd falls silent as someone raises their glass, signaling the start of the toast. I'm not paying much attention, just letting it wash over me, when I catch my father's eye from across the room. My heart skips a beat. He's standing near the edge of the crowd, his glass in hand, and our gazes lock for a split second. He doesn't say anything, doesn't wave me over or make some grand gesture, but his expression is different. There's something in the way he looks at me now, something softer. It's like the years of distance between us have cracked open, just a little. It's not an apology. It's not a huge revelation. There's no dramatic moment where he admits he was wrong. But in the briefest of seconds, I see it. Maybe he's starting to see me for who I really am, not as the daughter he's always tried to shape, but as the person I've become. I hold his gaze for a moment longer, feeling a rush of emotions I wasn't prepared for. I could walk over to him, ask him what he's thinking, demand some kind of validation. But I don't need to. Not anymore. I nod at him, just a small gesture, but it feels bigger than anything I've done before. And I return his gaze, offering him a smile. Not a forced one, not one for show, but a genuine smile that feels like the first real smile I've had in years. He doesn't say anything, but he doesn't need to. The moment passes, and I turn back toward the crowd, the chatter picking up again as people begin to raise their glasses. "Here's to Daisy and Jake," someone says, and everyone follows suit, lifting their drinks in the air. The clinking of glasses fills the barn, and for the first time, I'm not just part of the background. I'm not just the ranger in the corner. I'm here, I'm seen. And that's enough. As the camera pans across the room, I feel a sense of peace settle over me. The laughter continues, the music fades into the background, but I know that whatever comes next, I'm free. Free of the need for approval, free of the weight of my father's expectations. For the first time, I'm standing in my own light, and that's all I've ever really needed.